Cancer. My name is Audrey Alison. Thanks for joining me for your October 2015 forecast for the month. It is a beautiful California morning, and I wanted to take a moment to thank you very much for subscribing to this channel, to my YouTube channel, and for your loyal support on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot. I have been receiving a lot of generosity also with my donation button on the front cover page of my website. I was inspired to create the donate button from a woman who lives in a town. I'm saying this in all the readings just because I think I'm obsessed with the town that she lives in New England. It's called Manchester by the Sea. And she had emailed me several months ago and asked me to create a donation button because she was not interested in a reading with me, but just wanted to support my business. And since then, I've been receiving donations from France and London and this little town called Manchester by the Sea, and I just feel so blessed to have such generosity in the year 2015 when I do receive a lot of emails, hundreds if not thousands of emails asking for free services, and it's just quite the opposite when people are willing to notice what work you put into the videos and to this business. I read for hundreds of people a month, and I'm want to take a minute to thank you. I have a lot of gratitude for your support. So let's start the month, Cancer, because I'm loving all of this magical trine energy that we're experiencing in October. Our first transit is on the 8th of October, and Venus is actually leaving Leo after an extended 4-month stay and a retrograde, and entering into Virgo through November 8th into your third house. So your money sector has been really worked on with the support of Venus, who is love and money in the financial sector. Now she's heading into your communication sector, your siblings sector, the neighborhood, the local travel. And you could find that once Mercury goes direct the following day, that a local trip might be planned for you. Nothing too far off. Well, you might, because your 9th house is affected as well, but we'll get to that. Venus will help with the smoothing over of communications. Your communication style will be warm and sensual because she is sensuality. She is the goddess Aphrodite and beauty and aesthetic. So you're drawing in people with the way you speak. On the 9th of October, Mercury goes direct at 0 degrees of Libra. He officially clears his shadow on the 24th of October, the degree in which he retrograded, 15 degrees of Libra. So this is now better off in your 4th house of home, your environment, your foundation, your relationship with mother, the maternal home. Mercury direct here. Mercury retrograde you would probably have received, for those of you who have mothers who are past, you might have received some dream life or dream activity from the mother in that retrograde period. Mercury's now direct, though, not saying you won't receive any more dreams, but I find there's a nostalgia with the Mercury retrograde. But now direct, there's things working better off in the home. No more repairs, not as much nonsense that needs to be redone in the 4th house of environment. On the 11th of October, there's an aspect that's definitely taking place through the remainder of the month and into November, and it's the Jupiter-Pluto trine. Jupiter in Virgo, in your 3rd house, trining Pluto in Capricorn in your 7th house at an exact 13 degrees. And Mars and Venus are also in Virgo, so there's a lot of Earth energy happening in October. Your 3rd house of communication is trining, harmonious filtering of energy, into the 7th house of marriage, the 7th house of commitment, monogamy, partnerships, business partnerships. Your communication style is beautiful there. For those of you looking to marry, this is a beautiful time to commit in that energy. Wedding vows would be easily exchanged between the 3rd and the 7th house. And for those of you already partnered up, this is the best time for it. You're really getting to know your significant other in a way that you haven't communicated before. So this is super energy. On the 12th of October, we have our new moon at 19 degrees of Libra, which is conjunct that direct Mercury. So this is in the 4th house of home. Some of you Cancerians are finding new places or considering establishing a new technique with the home, a new environment, new communication style with Mercury, but maybe even a new place altogether. You're getting in touch with your roots too. Some of you might go back to where you were born or where you came from. But the new moon, for those of you looking to move or looking for a new sense of security, the fourth house is a deep-rooted place, even within the self, not the exact four walls around you. You can start your intentions on the 12th to get a secure foundation regarding yourself and your own security. On the 15th and 16th, Mars is going to join Jupiter at an exact 13 degrees. Mars is energy and stamina in Virgo exactly when he's trining Pluto. So your 3rd and 7th house have this extra feisty energy regarding Mars, who's wanting Jupiter to expand even quicker. Jupiter's going to sit in the sector of communications for a full 13 months. And Mars, he moves a lot more quickly than Jupiter, so there's a rambunctious energy to him and also a passion to him. So he's really bringing in a lot of contacts, clients, and connections in the 3rd house for you regarding work, and 7th house of business partnerships. If you want to take the relationship energy out of that definitive positioning of the 3rd and 7th house, it could be clients and contacts coming in very quickly with Mars, and luckily with Jupiter, and expanding with Jupiter, abundance, faith, optimism, the hope, which is all Jupiter, that your connections can be made, and you can maintain clients and communications very quickly with Mars conjunct Jupiter. On the 17th, Mars and Jupiter are at 14 degrees, so there's a theme with them. They are directly together in the cosmos, running in alignment together with their energy. And on the 19th, the moon, the intuitive receptive energy of the goddess moon, is conjunct Pluto, meets up with Pluto in Capricorn at 13 degrees, and they will be trining Mars and Jupiter and Venus at 15, 14, and 9 degrees. So it's this trine, this earth stability, this grounding trine, this stable earth energy that's affecting the 3rd and 7th house for you. A lot of you who are in marriages feel extremely comfortable right now. And you know, Cancerian, even though you're a water sign, there's a little bit of a water trine at the end of the month just for you, and the moon is in your sign. But this earth energy actually works for you, because out of all the water signs, you do really need the comfort and stability of your home environment. And you have a very strong intuition as a Cancerian with your sun in Cancer. Please watch your ascendant sign as well for these forecasts. Because of the degrees I'm talking about, they might be a little more accurate regarding the aspects. But this works for you, this earth trine, even though you're a water sign. On the 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio. Okay, so this is your watery realm, and when the sun enters Scorpio, he ignites Neptune in Pisces. They will be trining eventually. So the 5th house, the house of children, the house of romance, the house of love, passion, fun, leisure, pleasure, sports, gambling. This is a very lovey-dovey month for Cancers. And the 5th house of children is the sun is all of the energy. It's a life force. He is the God in the sky. We don't exist without him. And so when he's in Scorpio, you love that because it trines your natal positioning, whether you're Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant. So you like this time of year. It's comforting to you. It also gives you a great relationship with your children if you have them. For those of you wanting to conceive, the 23rd on is a beautiful time for that. Mercury's direct, the sun is in the 5th house of children, and you have a lot of blessings around your communication and relationship styles. On the 27th, we have a full moon, supermoon, which means it's closest to the earth and in direct alignment with the sun and the earth, and it's at 3 degrees of Taurus. So this completes a grand earth trine with Jupiter, Mars, and Venus in Virgo. the moon itself in Taurus, and Pluto in Capricorn. So that third and seventh house again, that relationship communication energy or business partnership client energy, along with the 11th house adding in where you hold Taurus. The full supermoon is the complete awareness in your 11th house of connections and friendships, social clubs and groups and organizations. There's an awareness here. And the supermoon won't happen again until April of 2016, and that's actually a new moon, so you won't see it. You don't see a new moon. It's black. You don't see it until it's a crescent. But this full moon is just going to hang so low around Halloween. It's just going to be absolutely magical outside. But speaking of Halloween, happy Samhain for those of you into that. There is a grand water trine happening for an instant on Halloween. And it's because it's due to the moon's quick transit around the satellite. He's around the cosmos. He transits every 2 to 3 days. So when he enters Cancer on Halloween, that will trigger a grand water trine 4 days after the Earth trine with Cancer, with where the moon will be stationed, Neptune in Pisces, and the sun in Scorpio. And this will be the first, fifth, and ninth house for you in astrology. The first house of self, where the moon is in your sign on Halloween. So beautiful, because the veil is thinnest between both astral planes of the living and the dead on Halloween. The moon in your sign is making you extremely intuitive, Cancer. You already are, but on Halloween, forget about it. It's going to be, get out your candles, get out the tarot decks, get out whatever you're into over there. But it's just such a beautiful night for love, magic, romance, and the ninth house of travel and foreign travel. I feel like Cancers want to be home, though, on Halloween, and definitely handing out candy. I'm going to get to the cards now, and I'm taking a moment in every video to pay homage to Pamela Coleman Smith, who is the artist and illustrator of the Rider-Waite tarot deck. I'm using Rider-Waite, typical plaid background. I got this from the French Quarter. But there was a story in the deck that I think needs to be told, and considering I was recording some of these videos yesterday, I didn't realize it was actually the date of her passing, September 18th. So let me tell you a little bit about Pamela Coleman Smith and give her the respect that I believe she is due. She was born on February 16th, 1878 in Middlesex, England, and traveled to Brooklyn, New York to study at the Pratt Institute of Theater and Artistry, and traveled in between London, Brooklyn, and Kingston, Jamaica to learn her craft. She was a mystic. She was a tarot reader herself, or into the intuitive arts, and she was called upon by Arthur Waite to depict 78 cards that she drew as he spoke about them, which became the Rider-Waite deck. And in 1903, she joined the Order of the Golden Dawn, which is mostly known for its work with Aleister Crowley. A lot of magicians and tarot readers and mystics hung out in that group because they didn't know where else to go. They formed their own organization back in 1903. I'm sure I would have considered being a member. And in 1909, she created this deck through the guidance of Arthur Waite. It was published within that same year by Rider and Son Publishing. So, Rider-Waite deck, any reader has a Rider-Waite deck. It's usually what people learn on. It's dated so far back. But I wanted to read an excerpt about her because it says, despite her occasional art shows and favorable reviews by critics, she continued the slow sales of her works, and rejections by commercial publishers left her deeply disappointed. Pamela never married, and she never had children, and she had no known heirs except for an elderly female companion who shared her flat in London. She died on September 18, 1951, penniless and obscure. There was no funeral procession to honor her life. There was no memorial service to touch upon the impact her work would one day have upon her admirers. She died disappointed that her paintings and writings failed to achieve success, yet she never stopped believing in herself. Pamela Coleman Smith would all but be forgotten except for the 78 tarot paintings known as the Rider-Waite Tarot Deck. She would no doubt be astonished and gladdened to know that today the deck touches the hearts and emotions of millions of people. And I want to show her face again because I'm giving her the recognition that I believe she deserves, and I'm crying in every video. I can't get through that story without it's just so raw. It's so touching, and you know, as an artist myself, I identify with her, and I'm just feeling her vibe. And through these readings, these cards are on point. I mean, these we're going to get into it. Okay, Cancer? So thank you for your patience. And I want to let you know, if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. And on October 15th, I will be returning for the third time as a special guest on Goddess Alive Radio, where I'm taking callers live for an hour for free tarot tasters. So more information on my Facebook page regarding the call-in number for that. Okay, Cancer, what does October have in store for you? I feel like I'm going to be getting some relationship cards, but we'll see. Ace of Wands. Talk about fertility and passion, and for those of you wanting to conceive and are able to physically, the Ace of Wands is that seed, is that creative, fertile, passionate idea. Well, the swords are the ideas. Wands is like the feeling, is the innate feeling of needing to take action and achieve that creative goal, whether that is creation or creativity. All right, well, the transition card. You know, everyone freaks out about death, but it's the 8th house. It's where Pluto naturally governs Scorpio. It's about transition and needing to change. A lot of you are going to be changing your environment, the 4th house of home. Let me get to the rest of the cards before I do a... The marriage, 7th house. The 4 of Wands is the bride and the groom. This is the house of the 7th, the card of the 7th house, the commitment, the monogamy that's affected in that trine. The trine between Pluto, this card governs Pluto, and the 7th house. So let's see what comes up. And it's, you know, this card is intensity. It doesn't mean people are dying necessarily at all. It's especially since it's not around the 10 of Swords and things like that. Okay, 7 of Cups. Happiness, but also psychic guidance, the water trine. The cups are the water signs. Ideas or emotions, emotions that create happiness. You have all the tools you need for your own success right now. And the 2 of Cups, the relationship, the commitment, the monogamy. You know, this could be that you're intuitively led to your partner, for those of you still looking. A lot of cup cards. See, these are the cards about relationship. The only card I didn't draw is the Sun, which is also marriage, but this is the marriage card, the ceremony, the commitment, the vows. And this is looking for love and finding connection and attraction and soulmate energy. And this is starting. This is romance. This is the initial seeds of something you're passionate about. Now, taking relationship out of this, for those of you looking to start business partnerships, these are more emotional cards, the cup cards, but this is a very creative card for entrepreneurial energy and taking a risk. And I wouldn't let this deter you at all, because everyone needs to change in order to have these things manifest. I mean, yeah, you see people in relationships all the time. Sometimes it seems more effortlessly than maybe what you're comparing yourself to, but don't compare yourself, because you're running your own private race here. And sometimes people aren't always with the right people, so don't worry about how they're doing things. Just focus on your own path, the ace, the individual path. Make your own changes so you can be the best self, so you don't settle for anything. Be your best self. Focus on what it is you would like to change in order to better yourself, and make some sacrifices, and relationship is coming in. And it's coming in a healthy way for you. Okay, Cancer? Thank you for choosing me. My name is Audrey Alison, and don't forget, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.